Hey everyone, welcome to my channel called Zenakil, and this time my previous video was about different handheld consoles. This time I have a very interesting device in front of me that I want to do a first impression and unboxing, and this is Xteink X4. It's the simple eReader, and nearby I will also be always have as a reference in my hand Copo Libra 2. This is also very nice, one of the nicest EInk devices that exist in the marketplace right now. I think they are still, not discontinued, but there is a color version of it. But if I know it right, this one has more sharper screen due to that colors sometimes tend to have less sharpness in nearby fronts. So we will have this as a reference nearby to just compare with the sizes, compare the fonts, and this will be my first impression. So I think we can start going on with the unboxing. This device is quite popular recently, as I bought it from AliExpress, and a lot of people from around the world are buying from different websites. Even I think the website owner said also that they should buy from the official one, but from China it's much more cheaper to get. So that's why if you have an access to official website, you can buy it from there. But if you have an access to AliExpress, you can get it for much more cheaper price, I would say. And this device isn't like very powerhouse in terms of power, and nearly everything I think written in the Chinese, obviously only not the name Xteink X4. So it has a nice packaging, I would say. If you want to give it as a gift, it's very nice. I'm always like very detailed in terms of packaging, if you say, especially if you saw my previous video. And very interestingly, yeah, it's quite nice actually. And this is one of the cheapest and smallest ink devices in the marketplace. I bought it around 50 USD or something like that, and it's one of the cheapest ones. And recently they are popping like a crazy, like a lot of people getting it. It's insanely popular in Reddit, and there is a very nice like community of it, and it has even like custom ROM, custom firmware that you can install and use it, and it's very nice. So community is really nice about this device, especially like availability of this device, and being so cheap makes it also very accessible to different type of people to get this device and test what it means to have an EInk and something like that. Oh, I discovered that it's not fully white actually. It's it's more like, I would say, grayish white. I don't know, it's strange. I need to turn on the white lighting, maybe this will help. I put the light a little bit far away. I think you can check more up closer. It's kind of not fully white, but you know what, the weight of it's small. If I'm not mistaken, it's around 75. I need to open this web page. So it is around 74 grams. It has ASP32 as a CPU, as a motherboard. I think it's very popular like motherboard in terms of like building something, but it's definitely not popular in terms of like ink stuff. Most of the inks are not powerful, and especially this Kobo is also like not crazy powerful. It's such power. Having such power is nearly enough to have the ability to run the EPUBs and etc. Especially if you have a nicely optimized firmware. And here is nearby the size comparison with my Kobo Libra 2. You can see the size difference is crazy. Like, if I'm not mistaken, Kobo Libra 2 has like around 6-inch. When it comes to this device, it's around 4.3 inch. So yeah, but the device itself, the size is really crazy. Like, look at the difference. It's insane. overall, without case, Kobo also feels very weight. I think it's around 200 grams, especially when you're grabbing like that. It's very comfortable. I love Kobo Libra too, especially it has a like light too, which you can turn on and off. And if you guys don't know, this Xteink unfortunately don't have that to that price and etc. But there was recently news that they're trying to make the Android one that can run eReader. Unfortunately, this device cannot run eReader because it's ASP32. It has only 128 megabytes like CPU, 128 megabytes of RAM, which is very hard to run some applications, especially Linux based or something like that. So it's understandable why it doesn't run like eReader. It has power button, page turn buttons. In front they have 4 buttons more, which 4 page turns and cancel and etc. like accepting, okay. And buttons feels very soft, very responsive, very clicky. I like that. I was seeing in videos that buttons are very clicky. I thought that maybe they are very hard to press, but it's not. They also have the port USB Type-C and one for accessory hook with the rope and the reset button. If in terms of like if you have like some issues with the system, or right when you're writing the system, you could just click it and it will reset itself. It is not called white as I see, it's called frost white, but still it is very greenish. It has very pattern very. So as I understood, the sides are plastic, yeah, and the back panel is glass, which always which shocked me a lot. For this price I was waiting it to be a fully plastic, because there is no such alternatives like that. But there is one alternative that was for M computer or something like that, the small Linux like system. It was very looking non-quality really, but this one, surprisingly, it looks amazing and it sits in your hand amazing too. It feels really nice. And oh yeah, I had a small glow in here. So overall it feels really amazing, I would say. Let's put it aside for now. Is there something else in the case, or patch installation cleaning kit in there? Oh yeah, it is screen. There is screen protector. I will check. Maybe I would use it, or maybe I would not. But let's put it aside for now. So I don't know what is this. I think there was left mistakenly. What is that? It's a rope like something that was inside, but whatever. Okay, we have instruction. We have instruction in here, and we have a magnetic ring, which is very interesting thing. It has Xteink label on top. Yeah, and there was 2 of them, one white and one black. Why there is such thing? Because if I'm not mistaken, there is a ring or something like that in the back panel, and you can attach it to the phone. You can do like really interesting stuff with the magnet. But I saw some people using it for attaching it to the phone. I think it's not great idea. I don't know. I wouldn't make my phone already like fatter by just adding something on top of it. I don't know. I didn't like the idea greatly, to be honest. It supports Bluetooth, it supports Wi-Fi without problem, and it supports Wi-Fi like 2.4. Yeah, and it has like 34 grams. It has amazing screen. Display is 4.3 inches. It has resolution of 220 ppi, and I think it was near this similar or maybe less in Kobo. Due to that, it is a more bigger screen, but maybe I'm not recalling it right. It comes with 32 GB microSD and supports expansion up to 512 GB SD card. I think 32 will be more than enough. In here, for example, you can see that in Kobo I have some collection of with the folder management, and it's not Kobo's default system. I installed the eReader, and I don't even reach 10 gigabytes with all this stuff. Like, I don't know what you want to install in 32 gigabytes. Especially I will use Xteink mostly for 1, 2, 3 books installed, and will just in a daily when I go out or when I want to have smaller ink, I will just use it for reading the book more faster. And other than that, I would say that's it. There is a lot of, as I already said, support from third party tools, third party accessories, and all this stuff is really nice. We will get into a system a little bit. Not now. Let's cover what was coming in the package. I bought the magnetic case too. So yeah, I think they always included this in order to plug your SD card into your computer and like flash it or send your books. But you can do all this stuff, if I'm not mistaken, just by plugging your computer, your Xteink into your computer. And there is very nice websites that allows you to install the like softwares, firmwares, and I think I will show it too. And other than that, also let's cover the magnetic like case for Xteink. Yeah, the box got ruined already, but it's fine. And I get myself, I don't recall, I think I got myself the white version. But yeah, it's the white version of the cover. Okay, this is interesting because it's insanely heavy. It's heavy as crazy. I think it's heavier than Xteink itself. Oh yeah, it's definitely heavier than Xteink itself, which is funny. But I guess okay. And it has really nice texture inside to not run in screen, I guess. And also there is a logo of Xteink. If you watch up close, you can see the texture is kinda like more, the stuff for the cleaning screen, it looks like that, but it's more harder. So it just fits it like that and gets closer. And to be honestly, with the case, it becomes too much heavy. But I saw, especially recently in Reddit, that some people are breaking screens very easily after drop. So I would definitely recommend you to getting yourself such case in order to protect it properly. And yeah, when it comes to the phone attachment, I have in my phone like that ring inside. Maybe I would give it a test. But my phone is extremely small. It's iPhone 13. People are trying with like pro version of iPhone, which is insanely bigger. Mine is iPhone 13, but I think I guess, should work. Okay, it didn't work from the case itself, but it's really sturdy. Like, I'm trying to disconnect the ink from the case. It's sturdy as hell. So I think it must protect properly. So okay, I see. But where is the sticking point? So fun enough, it sticked in my iPhone like this because my iPhone is nearly a lot bigger, like a lot bigger. Not a lot bigger, but very smaller in comparison to Xteink. iPhone 13 was overall smaller, but like, yeah, I wouldn't recommend it doing. I don't know why they market it like that oh, you can stick your ink device to back of your phone to make your phone more heavier. Even I use like carbon cases, real carbon, to make sure that my phone stays always the thin as possible. I don't know why they kinda market their ink device as like device that can be sticked to the back of the phone. Oh, other than that, let me take a pause. I bought 2 more accessories for Xteink, which I would love to demonstrate. Okay, I have bought these 2 handlers. One of them is a purple metal for putting your finger in, and another one is a leathery, more classical look, but I guess has less functional value. I think this was very interesting, so I got myself something like this from again AliExpress. And let's try to plug in it to check how it will be. Oh, I always hate these ones because these ones like always were. Okay, here it is attached to the device itself. Yeah, I think I would say it has some kind of meaningful like functional value, but I wouldn't necessarily say so. And it is not extremely heavy, but it's iron. I think it's still, and yeah, I think it's definitely fine. And other than that, I think it has, by the way, Chinese version of app. I think we need to, and it has a lot of texts which I don't even know what the hell are they. I think it's time to make the switch to CrossPoint, which is far better than original like OS. Even I think text aliasing and etc. is non-existent in default system, but in like CrossPoint it's far more better and supported, and you can do a lot of customization. But to be honest, just seeing the screen and the distance between the screen itself and the border, it looks miraculous, I would say. For example, look at them like compare to my Kobo Libra. Like in my Kobo Libra is plastic bezel with like going into a deep layer. And also one thing to mention, the Kobo Libra is far more easier to control. It's not comparable, like it's not comparison at all, because Kobo is far more superior than such devices. But overall, we're just giving you a brief like understanding what it looks like compared to a default like the simple, let's say, Kobo e-readers. This has the touch screen, which makes it easier to navigate, and one of the functionalities that I love like crazy in e-books is that e-readers is that you can enter some, I don't know, book, and for example, if you don't understand some term or something like that, for example, I launched this programming AWS book, right? And for example, there is some word that I don't understand, like let's say director. You can easily hold the word and it will search dictionary and give you like any dictionary result that you installed. For example, I have 17 different dictionaries and it can give you like explanation full, etc. Unfortunately, this functionality will be not available in here due to that it's nearly impossible to go through a words, choose something, because it doesn't have a touch control. It will be more like a simple e-reader for reading your books, and that's it. And to be honest, for a starter, for first impression, this text looks amazing. The screen itself looks amazing because there is no border, and you have to understand that it makes it more clear, the text clear, because in Kobo you have additional layer of the touch layer that makes I think, if I'm not mistaken, that can make the text more clear. And in here it's just glass in front and the ink itself. There is no different layer types, so your fonts is just popped into the screen straight, like without any borders, without any things. It feels straight, like laminated, even a little bit, I would say, which is interesting. Yeah, I think we should now go to switch to CrossPoint and test CrossPoint with books imported into a system. So, welcome to my desktop, and also sorry for my bad microphone quality. I guess we can check this out and how to install the firmware to our system. to our device, and also how to convert the book to XTC and upload it to our device. And I will talk about XTC a bit later. For firmware, it's much more easier. You just write Xteink CrossPoint in Google and come to this beautiful GitHub website. Very insane community, insanely big community. You can be a supporter, sponsor. You can be a contributor to contribute new functionalities. There is mainly, I think it was used C in here and here. This is the ESP32C3 microcontroller and built using platform IO. And this is how it looks. And there is even feature flags, image support still not existent. I think in a dev build it exists, but in an official build I don't think it is there yet. And here it shows clear and easier way to how to install, like easier. You just connect your Xteink X4 device to your computer via USB-C and use like the device rec button, I guess. And we are going to Xteink website and clicking just flash CrossPoint firmware, or we are using our version firmware bin. In here we're just coming to releases, which shows that last week it shows what will happen, like changed features, fixed internals, and we can install bin file, and then we could have an easier way to flash our firmware, or we can do it from here, like much more easier, very simpler way. So I think we can go on, and let me for a second, let me try to find any Type-C in my desk. Flash, and let's choose this. And for now it says no compatible devices found. Let's click the power button, and I see there is a USB-G tag. Let's connect it. And after powering on your device, choose your device from that list and just click the flash. And it will be flashed. I would say that's it. It says reset device, and we're clicking the reset button from the side of the device, which was very smaller one. And I'm waiting for response from my device. Oh yeah, I see there is a new screen, new settings, UI became much more beautiful. I used to watch the review, and all this I will show in the video, but for now let's switch to installing also book, which let's see how it will be done. So there is something called EPUB to XTC converter in here. You should upload your EPUB which you want to let's say to appear in your device. I would love to upload some of my, let's say, science fiction books, and maybe I would love to read one of the book games that I love. It's Deus Ex. And you can choose like different layouts to read it. Yeah, you can have a text line. For example, let's go to the next page to see the text. In here you can control our texts, like font size, margins, and the quality. You could put like more higher quality 2-bit XDH, which looks much more nicer. We could do 100% dithering mode or 0, or we can't even turn off this. Interesting. I'm curious though, is it better with dithering 100% or not? Because for my eyes it looks more pixely when there is dithering going on. But let's put it just 100%. There is dark mode, there is progress bar, you put like in the bottom or top. I would love to put it in the bottom because it will be less distracting. There is a progress line of being full width. Chapters you could see full width, chapter percentage. We could have chapter by, and I guess this is much more better, yeah. And is this a progress bar font? Yeah. I think putting it extremely smaller is more nicer. Edge margin is how much bottom it is. Yeah, it's nice. So I would say something like this. Let's put, there's also option for custom fonts, but for now let's just do whatever we see, right? There is a default one, there is a LoRa. Interesting, even sizes changes. So is this as a more like toggling what fonts there will be inside one file? I'm not sure. But yeah, we could even put our custom, let's say, Xteink, custom like font face. So let's export this one first. Yep, save. And let's export one more with the darker mode, negative. And let's export one without any dithering. So yeah, that's it. Let's go to this device. And there will be the option of the file transfer. In device you have to, yes, you could use that one. Or more easier variant. I'm not sure if there is an OTG support in it. Let me go to the settings and check this out. Remember, there is the black thing we are given, the OTG SD card reader we are giving inside the box. Let's just use it. I have my own, but I will, for reference, I will use what it's been given by default. And plug the SD card to your device, to your computer. And after plugging, we can see there is an storage, there is other firmware, and I guess there is also CrossPoint. I'm not sure how is there some structure for books, but let's just create a book folder and put 3 of our files into there. And yep, that must be it. Now let's connect the SD card to our device and I will stop recording in my computer. I think we can continue with our video as we installed our CrossPoint, and I will put my Kobo into my old Kobo case. And as you can see, with the case on it, the width is something like that. It's nearly the same, and it becomes really heavy when you are using that case that sold in with the Xteink. So I installed the CrossPoint, and this is their new UI. I remember them looking not like exactly like this, but now it's much more nicer, really. And also there was no image of the picture in the library. You could just choose by name, but now there is even a little bit image of each book that you are reading. And there is a browser files, file transfer, settings and recents which you can scroll through. And settings menu is also nice and more modernistic. Like there is an options like sleep screen cover mode. You can use some different pictures for it. Status bar, you could do all these fixes. And there is a sunlight fading fix, which I'm not sure how it works. Maybe it refreshes itself after like 5 or 2 minutes. Maybe we can't even check if there's such logic. Oh no, it's just on and toggle on off. Okay. I will not, I guess, read it in the sun, especially in Poland. There is nearly no sun for now. There is a reader which you can enter and choose, like the font size, line spacing, and all these nice settings. Books, embedded systems, hyphenation, yeah, and text analyzing, which is very necessary to be always turned on, and by default it's turned on. There is a controls we can view, which you could change them, how it works, like map it to a different things, I guess. And there is a system which is the co-reader sync, which you have co-reader in. For example, my Kobo has that one. You could sync where you stayed in the book between them. Just shortly, it's something like that. And let's go run the book and check how it runs. The first version was the default version, the wide, just what it offers. And let's also run this in my beautiful Kobo. And just for reference, put it side by side and compare it, like how it looks like in very small device and how it looks like in Kobo device, which is very looks like in bulk in terms of aspect and ratio, and has much more bigger and sharper screen, I assume. And but I think, yeah, it's definitely more sharper than what Xteink offers us. So I'm trying to look from a folder where that book was. Oh, I just remembered that I'm in different folder. So here, Blacklight. So here is the book in all screens side by side. I will open the same page. I will try. So unfortunately, I choose a very small font in my Xteink. I need to change it, I assume. But if you would look closer, you could see still that the font are quite clear, even though they are very small. They are very clear, and they are, again, saying readable. And here in Kobo Libra 2, you can see the fonts are insanely bigger, and you can even turn on the backlights to make it more nicer reading, especially at the nights. And overall, yeah, it's for sure better, more clear text, and there is insane amount of customizations, like the page modes, even font itself. You can change font itself, decrease the size, spacing, expansion. And in here you could change the font family and much more stuff, but I'm not much changing the font family, so I forgot where it was happening. It was in different place, I know that, but yeah, overall it's something like that. You could change a lot about font, and even put the value that not exists in here. Compared to this device, I think there was some options, but it's not much. But let's check that out. We could run our page. Maybe it was hold. I remember there was some kind of menu or something like that. Try to change something from the settings menu. Font size large. Let's put the large and let's launch again. Is it even changed? But I think, yeah, it's not much changed. I think the most of the settings you should beforehand check in XTC, like book converter, and control it from there. I didn't install default EPUB to check it, but I think this this will, maybe the settings will work for default EPUB for XTC, which works I think better for Xteink device. It's better to control it in the website itself. But overall, as a reading experience, I think it will be very nice addition to me myself, because I always wanted to have the pocketable device, because come on, like Kobo Libra 2 is definitely not pocketable device. But this one is very small, very nice. I think it would be very nice to have train or bus and you could just open it and read your books fastly. And in this one you could read in more comfortable environment where you sit at home or sleep. For example, nighttime before sleeping you want to read, you could even turn the backlight on, which is I love about the Kobos in this for more public places. And you could have cover which nicely closes and like doesn't like opens automatically, or magnet is insanely also strong, so gives you more easier ability to like protect your device and not break, like people on Reddit who I saw in last days like 3 or 4 maybe devices that are got broken in Reddit, and I got really scared. But today I got my device few like maybe an hour ago, and now I'm recording this. And thanks God that beforehand I bought the cover too. So if you want to protect your device nicely, I would definitely recommend you like protecting it with maybe something like rope, or even buying like cover. But I would definitely suggest to be more creative than me, because I bought all white, and the honest I was thinking maybe I should needed to take some different color cover. Yeah, maybe some, I don't know, there is more lighter versions of green, there is black, which could be look combined very nice. Especially I think black would look nice. These fonts are black and the background will be like cover will be black and the device itself will be white. I like my e-readers being white color and cases being in different colors, so yeah. Because I read somewhere, I'm not sure it's 100% true or not, I read somewhere that e-readers, when you're using white background, the white gets more brighter if you have white device and white plastic parts. So I'm not sure is it like a lie or is it actually truth. But device itself looks well like this, and it's really pretty, it's really cute, it's really small compared to especially co-reader. And I think that must be fully it. I think I covered most of the parts. I showed the instruction of the firmware, and if you have, for example, want to contribute, your software engineer, I am thinking about contributing some features, but we will see. There is a lot of things in GitHub that you can read. You can read the guidelines, you can read the ideas page. There is an ideas page which people share their ideas, and you can take some of them and start working on it. And in GitHub there is, thanks to this like community, they are very friendly, they are very helpful, and they're always pushing new changes, new features, new fixes. So don't forget to support them too. I will leave the links in description of this video. And I would say that must be it. That must be all. Thank you very much. And don't forget to subscribe. I will furthermore find more interesting devices, and whenever I like some devices I will buy them and try to review or do first impression or get even more detailed videos in future. And yeah, that must be it. That must be all.